Unbelievable. One last question. After 2001, there was a lot of talk about smallpox, anthrax attacks, bird flu, and the CDC and the World Health Organization put into place protocol for the implementation of emergency measures that nations around the world agreed if we have a pandemic, these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, these things are done immediately. Now, I remember this vividly, Congressman. I remember reporting on this, and I remember reporting on Ebola, 12, 14 years ago when nobody was talking about it. I assumed all these years that when we have a pandemic, these emergency measures were going to be put into place right away. And that's why I'm really puzzled by the ineptness, the slowness of what's taking place. And this isn't the bird flu. This is Ebola. Are you hearing any talk in Washington that at some point in the near future, the U.S. government will simply be compelled to implement certain emergency measures?
Well, yeah. I think, what is it, Executive Order 130, I'm trying to remember, it was 130, 32, 33, where Obama has laid out, it's a great Forbes article, too, you can read about it, but he talks about using emergency powers to take over, control of the economy and everything. And then, of course, our friends at Snoop say it's false, but then you read about it and it turns out to be true. I think, I don't know, their terminology is there's always a crisis in which they want to use to their benefit. I would not be surprised that the reason that you see a lack of response is so it becomes a real crisis, and then things can be used to correct the crisis. I think, I know just bizarre, there's not enough action up front, and I'm wondering if that's, I'm not saying this, but I'm wondering if that's intentional in order to create a greater crisis, to use it as a blunt force to say, well, in order to solve this crisis, we're going to have to take controls of the economy and individuals and so forth. I don't know. It's a strange non-response, a strange way of handling it. And I think that if it does go forward and we do not control it, that there may be an overreaction where the government starts taking away the rights of those that aren't that necessarily involved or need that to happen. I hope that's not the case. But as you know, this current government uses crisis to advance their philosophy and their agenda.
Well, you just verbalized what a lot of our radio listeners are expressing to me in recent days. They're concerned that this is being allowed to deliberately fester until there is genuine panic in the American people and a demand from the public, do something, just do something. And then they step in with the hard, heavy-handed emergency measures, and they just keep stoking the fears and just driving the fear level until the people are demanding a powerful response from Washington. And, Congressman, I've said this, I was talking about this 14, 15 years ago. If there was ever a plague, it would be the perfect cover to destroy the constitutional republic, to destroy paper money. You'd have to gather up money because it's being used to circulate viruses. And so there's a lot that could be done with this particular virus. And I think all of us should be on guard for the worst case scenario to happen. My guest, Congressman Steve Stockman, Congressman of the 36th Congressional District, great state of Texas. Thank you, Congressman. Appreciate you being on True News.
Well, I really appreciate you taking my call. And as always, you do a service when you speak up and tell the truth, and knowledge is a great defense against authoritarianism. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, there is our closing music.